A few notes before our webinar today, before we begin. During the webinar, you will be on mute to avoid any background noise. If you have any technical problems, please use your right-hand control panel to post questions, and we will be monitoring this during our webinar and respond to you. At the end, we will leave time for questions and answers, so feel free to stay, and we will open up the lines to you. A quick note, we would like to invite you to attend our ongoing educational webinars. You can visit us at www.IntelliClicksoftware.com and simply click on the webinars button. You'll be able to see the list of upcoming webinars. Your presenter today is Stephen Pearl. He's the Director of Business Development for IntelliClick Software. Stephen has an extensive background in both sales and marketing, and I think you will find his comments interesting. So I am going to turn it over to you, Steve.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad everyone could make it this morning to our presentation. And what I'd like to start off doing is just speaking about what we intend to cover in our presentation today and give you a little overview of the topics we'll be taking a look at. We're basically going to try to help everybody understand what business intelligence, especially e-marketing business intelligence, what it is. And then, of course, we're going to try to look at this from two perspectives, a marketing perspective and a sales perspective. Very often, both those areas of the company often will look at business intelligence in a very different way, and sometimes getting the two to collaborate better will facilitate the sales process and potentially increase the speed at which you can make sales today. As part of our presentation, we'll be showing you some actionable reports and capabilities generated by a tool called IntelliClick that facilitates timely information in GoldMine as you use email campaigns. So some of this will be examples we'll be showing as we go along. Okay, so we're going to take a look first at, well, what do we mean when we say e-marketing business intelligence? And from our perspective, we feel that capturing intelligence from traditional sources such as past purchase behavior, sales discussions that you might log in your system, or researching your audience, that's probably the most traditional, common way for gathering business intelligence about your audience. What many of you may have never thought of is using your email marketing initiatives as a way to not only promote your products and services, but to also learn more about the interests and behaviors of your audience and take advantage of that knowledge by acting on it before they consider your competition. So if we're going to try to show you today how that process of being able to not only promote but learn and take advantage of knowledge being gathered through your marketing initiatives can give you both a competitive advantage and be able to respond very quickly to market interests and changes as they go along. So let's start off by looking at what's going on today when it comes to e-marketing data being captured, and this is again from a marketing perspective. We've looked at a number of recent research studies, and it's been showing there's been a distinct move away from traditional marketing and moving more into the area of digital marketing. And what we mean by digital marketing is using different sorts of channels such as email, website, various types of website marketing initiatives, search engine optimization, and so forth as a way to, in a very timely, relevant, and personal way, gather information or disseminate information to your audience. Obviously, the biggest advantage of going to interactive digital marketing is it's very cost-effective, very low cost to execute, and typically has a very good response and return, delivering a very high return on investment in the process. Now, to give a little bit of an example of what we mean by digital marketing and an ability to learn more about your audience through that means, I'm going to flip over to GoldMine, and I'm going to run a little report that the tool IntelliClick allows you to generate called Digital Body Language. And I'm going to run this report and show you sort of some kinds of information that would give you a good idea of what your audience might have an interest in. This particular report is actually going to measure how much activity someone has had on your website, how much time they've spent on your website as part of tracking their response to campaigns. I'm going to quickly go ahead and look for only people that had over 5 visits to any one of our campaigns. And we'll look at it for a time frame of through to the beginning of June. Okay, and basically with this we're seeing a number of different individuals that have shown interest in our campaigns, and you're able to see that with this type of reporting you're able to really get a good understanding as to when and how often they've been looking at campaigns they've reacted to. So we consider digital body language to sort of be a way to monitor interests and read somebody's body language through the activity and behavior they've had in response to your campaigns, and in particular in what they're doing on your website. I'm going to just go to a page that if you have enough information being gathered, this is an example where you might have an individual where you have additional information such as forecasted opportunities or sales being made. You're really getting a really complete picture of not only their interests but what kind of opportunity these individuals represent from these marketing initiatives. So we find the digital body language is a good example of a good way to capture business intelligence, and certainly sets up the possibility to have actionable steps taken against that. Now I'm going to move back and talk about now from a, let me just make sure we have it back into our presentation mode. Okay, so from a sales perspective, we've done a little bit of research with a number of recent articles written by sales experts, and we've tried to give you some of the most key points that companies should consider doing to stay competitive. The first is collaborating with marketing, and clearly marketing is often initiating various campaigns and initiatives to promote products, but what is really helpful is to ensure that whatever is being put there has the ability to engage the sales team as these campaigns are underway. Often results are being looked at way after the campaign, and you've lost the opportunity to get salespeople involved right at the time when they may have been able to take action and when people have their highest level of interest. In terms of mining sales leads for cross and upsell opportunities, these experts are suggesting that you want to make sure that you can segment your database based on past interests that people have shown, and we're going to talk a little later about how email marketing campaigns can in fact capture and help you monitor what interests are there so that you can appropriately target the right people for other opportunities. A lot of times people tend to focus on learning only about interests from email marketing campaigns and don't look to the secondary level, which is what are they doing on our website. And so part of what we'll be showing today is that whole aspect of web analytics, but specific to the people that are showing interest in your campaigns, because that's the knowledge you can really take most advantage and take action on. Experts suggest that obviously the access to the sales data should be available anywhere, and GoldMine does a nice job of giving you a lot of different ways to make that happen. There's obviously mobile access to various portable devices, whether it's a laptop or a portable device, PDA, smartphones, and so forth. And another way that is helpful in making sure that information is in the hands of your salespeople, no matter where they are, is to have the ability to push that information out to them in a timely way. So something we're going to talk about is alerting, and how can alerts against different types of initiatives really reach out to your salespeople and get them involved at the right time. Finally, having some type of actionable analytics. Well, we've talked certainly about one example, which was digital body language, and I'm going to show now another example, which is once we've gathered all this type of information, how can we isolate some of our best and top leads from the campaigns that we have going underway? So I'm going to move back over here to GoldMine, and we're going to run a top lead summary report. And I'm going to run this report and isolate it to one of the campaigns we have. So I'm going to go ahead here and isolate this to the Imagine campaign. And I'm going to ask the system to give me my 10 best leads. And it's going to go ahead and allow me to indicate what time frame I want to measure. So I'm going to go ahead and use the same time frame we just did a moment ago through to the 1st of this month. But I'm also going to set what I feel are the most important aspects of the tracking we're doing. So I'm going to lower or ratchet down how much weighting we put on opens and how many people have opened the message, but I will leave a weighting of 1 on our clicks and suggest that if they've actually gone and looked at our website, that has a little bit higher level of importance and indication of interest. So we'll move that up to 1.5. We'll have literature fulfillment remain at 2, and if people actually sign up to spend time with us with an event registration, we'll set that to be our highest value of track data, so that as we profile and score these people, we kind of set the benchmarks we're using for this. Now here basically what we're doing is we're looking at a way to prioritize who are the best leads, and this is again what we consider to be very actionable data, isolating the company and the individuals based on the behavior and reaction to the campaign that we have underway. And so this is what we consider to be a very nice actionable type of report that you can see and very quickly prioritize who are those people you really want to be working with. So I'm going to move back over to our slides, and the net result of really what we're trying to accomplish here is we're really trying to bridge the information gap that often exists between marketing and sales. And usually what we want to do is make sure that the information being gathered by marketing really gets handed off in a timely and an appropriate way so that sales can do something with it, and ideally facilitate the process of closing sales faster. The sooner usually sales is brought into the loop, the better the chances are that they will be in reaching customers at the time customers are most interested in buying. So a lot of times campaigns that you're doing, any type of e-marketing you're doing, there's a lag if you wait to obtain the results and then pass it along to sales. And so what we're going to try to talk a little more about today with the IntelliClick tool is how can we get sales involved right now at the time reaction is happening to these campaigns, so that the intelligence that's being gathered can really be acted on quickly, but at the same time it's giving us a base of knowledge and information for future actions we may choose to want to take. So what I'm going to do is kind of give you a little picture of what the IntelliClick tool is designed to do and help you accomplish this collaboration between the campaigns you might initiate in GoldMine and where you can go from there to engage your salespeople. First of all, we basically have the ability in GoldMine, of course, to set up your campaigns and send messages from within the database. And with the data all residing within GoldMine, you have the ability to segment and test even different campaigns against different segments, different audience segments you might have. Once these messages are sent out the door, ideally the next step you'd want to do is make sure that effective tracking of what people are reacting to and are interested in is happening. And ideally that information would be coming to you in real time, which is what IntelliClick provides. It does provide that instantaneous result passed back into your database so that we have the ability to take some type of action on it. You have a permanent record of it for future mining purposes. And so there's a lot of advantages in seeing that information come back and reside permanently in your GoldMine database. Now, as part of the process, a lot of times you might have call to actions that you might set in a campaign. And one effective option we have is the ability to set these call to action hyperlinks where people can either request literature or sign up for an event. And in the process, you want to make sure that that call to action actually has some type of immediate response to these people so that the literature that's being requested or the confirmation that they've been signed up is automatically happening, and at the same time potentially updating your system so you know all the people who've either had literature sent or have signed up for a given event. And that's kind of what the whole flow of what IntelliClick is designed to help you do. So it starts to make your marketing process very interactive between what you've communicated and what they get back in response. Now imagine, though, if you could go one step further and beyond that first click, really know what the visitors are doing once they've hit your website. With the IntelliClick system, you're able to monitor the visitor navigation, your web visitor navigation, and see what the pages are, how much time they're spending, how often they've returned and come back to your website. And that gives you the ability to prioritize who are the ones most interested. So similar to what I showed in our top leads analysis report, having that beyond the first click indicator gives you the ability to better prioritize those leads and opportunities. Now, engaging the sales group is probably a very critical part if we're trying to have some type of timely follow-up to occur in this response to a campaign. So one of the things IntelliClick allows you to do is set any one of these different hyperlinks to generate some type of communication to sales or other designated individuals in your organization. It can be in the form of scheduling a phone call, a text message, or an email message. But whichever route you choose, the key is that you're engaging the salespeople at the opportune time because they're being notified while the recipients are potentially still on your website and still very interested in what you have to sell. Again, this is potentially a nice preemptive way, a preemptive measure to get to them before they've really started to consider or look at your competition. Now, beyond all the information being tracked, it's clearly going to be very important that we can make some good sense of that information. And so reporting and the ability to measure these results so that we can look to what we do in the future against some of these campaigns is part of what the IntelliClick system would deliver to you. And then basically you're able to identify those campaigns where we've had very good interest and success, and potentially you may want to repeat this cycle with future campaigns using some of that knowledge and information. Drip marketing, I also want to mention, is certainly a part of what IntelliClick can help drive in this process. One of the capabilities of the tool as part of this tracking is to flag information back into your database. And those flags can then be used as triggers or the ability to filter a subset of people for future initiatives that you might want to do based on today's interest being shown. So again, a lot of this interactivity between the campaign and your database really gives you that ability to take very immediate action and not just gather the intelligence, but actually be able to leverage it to take further action on it. For those of you who have an interest in IntelliClick as a product and how it can help you, most GoldMine partners are able to assist you in learning more about the product. You're also able to get more information on our own website. A lot of good information available to you there, or you can call and speak with us. And in all cases, we can assist you in understanding where you might be able to integrate this kind of a tool, both within your GoldMine environment and within the initiatives you're doing between your email marketing and website marketing. Now, I'd like to respond to and look at any questions that we might have. Pam, are you also on the line? Did we have any questions posted?
Yes, I am. I just wanted to first thank everyone for attending today, and we tried to make this very quick. We appreciate the 30 minutes of time that you've given us. The key point that we wanted to bring out is that it's absolutely critical to use e-marketing data today in order to stay competitive, and you have to be able to capture the data and use the data. So that's really the essence of what this educational webinar was all about. The IntelliClick tool, in conjunction with the GoldMine CRM system that you're using, gives you the ability to seamlessly capture this data and act on it, and that basically allows you to have the collaboration between the marketing and the sales team. Having said that, we did not go into a detailed view of the